On this show, we do something you probably don't see on almost any other cable news network. We hit the political extremes on both sides. I criticize the left when I think they deserve it. I criticize the right when I think they deserve it. You get sort of straight fact-based analysis, though, right, of stories. Our target audience is what we call the marginalized moderate majority. And a recent exhaustive analysis of bias in the media shows that we're apparently delivering on that mission. Ad Fontes Media, which rates media sources in terms of political bias and reliability, from cable and broadcast news to websites and podcasts, has released their new media bias chart, which they do twice a year. Its interactive chart shows that Dan Abrams Live is right in the middle of the balanced bias line. That's our show circled in yellow. Can you see it? You can't get any more balanced than that. I'll give you a better look. There we go. Scores that are closer to zero are minimally biased, and the show's score is a 0.27. By comparison, here are some other primetime shows that air around the same time as us. Alex Wagner Tonight is a show on MSNBC that has a bias score of 15.75, which means that she's very left-leaning. Anderson Cooper goes the same way with a bias score of negative 13.47. Hannity and Jesse Waters primetime on Fox News have scores of 24.63 and 23.30, respectively, which mean their shows skew far to the right. No surprise there either. Bias scores are on a scale of negative 42 to positive 42. And when it comes to reliability, meaning the show relies on more facts and less on opinion, we're at a 35.55. Alex Wagner Tonight, 31.25. Hannity, a score of 19.81. Jesse Waters primetime, 16.91. All far less reliable than this show, of course. Now, even though I do a lot of opinion on this show, but as for TV networks as a whole, NewsNation has a reliability rating of 39.17, neck and neck with CNN. When it comes to bias, NewsNation scores a 1.83 compared to CNN's negative 10. They're to the left. MSNBC is to the left of CNN, Fox News on the right, and neither has score as reliable as NewsNation. Ad Fontes apparently analyzed 14 episodes of this show, spanning as far back as November of 2021 to as recently as last month. A three-person panel, one on the left-leaning, one right-leaning, apparently one centrist analyst determined the overall score. And they do it show by show. Our least biased show, which came in at 0, apparently was from last month, where we topped the show by evaluating the evidence that Speaker McCarthy seems to believe warrants an impeachment inquiry into President Biden in regard to his son Hunter. And as we always say, this show is about facts and evidence, not politics. And we'll always follow the evidence wherever it takes us. Bottom line, this show, which premiered in September of 2021, appears to be where we set it out to be. But joining me now is Vanessa Otero, the founder and CEO of Ad Fontes Media. Thanks very much for being here. Appreciate it. All right, so give us a better idea of what goes into how you evaluate a show or a network's bias score.
Great to be with you, Dan. And yeah, thanks for asking. You're right. We've watched a lot of Dan Abrams Live, and we've watched a ton of other cable news shows. That's what our analysts do all day, every day, in shows from morning to night. So as you mentioned, we have analysts from they're politically center, politically right, politically left, but we have over 60 analysts on our team, and they look at shows and articles and episodes in pods of 3 at a time. So what we're looking for, I'm really glad you characterized the middle accurately as saying minimally biased and balanced. So those are 2 reasons why a show can land in or something else can land in the middle. The other reason is if there's a centrist bias, right? So centrism is a political bias. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with, left-leaning or right-leaning or centrist political views or moral foundations. These are actually the things that make us good people, right? Like our very moral foundations. But as you mentioned, having basing your analyses and your opinion on facts and having a high density of facts in whether it's analysis or opinion, is super important for that reliability score.
Well, thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.